Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about applying motivation when you're applying. Obviously, I'm in the same situation as everybody who is looking for a job at this point, and I think it's like who isn't, right? Or who hasn't been at one point in their, in their career. I mean, if you haven't looked for an opportunity, a new role, whether you weren't laid off or you weren't affected, right, or your company didn't close for business, and you are out looking for a new role. I believe this is something that is bothering everyone globally. Like I said, myself as a recruiter that has been in talent acquisition and HR for over 10 years, I find myself struggling a bit with my motivation and I don't want to apply anymore, because applying for jobs gets very taxing and stressful because it's just not a good thing. It's not I guess a good thing just to apply to a job, right? Because when you're applying to a job, you're not just clicking apply because you're applying to everything. Because if you do that, I hope you're not doing that. What's going to happen is you're going to get a lot of calls, emails, and you might take something that you weren't wanting to do, or for example, they're wanting you to work the weekends, and that you're able to work past your regular hours, right? So you really don't want to expose yourself to that, especially they want you to work uh, 15% traveling, right? Or 50%. I've seen a job say 50%, 75%. So I mean, they're really gonna be just out and about working, but just think about everything that you're doing, because um, it has a consequence. Your mental health is very key and important. A job is not going to come uh, immediately, right? You're going to get a lot of rejections, as I spoke in my previous videos. Um, it happens to everyone, not just you. It happens to me. I get rejected. You're probably going to get rejected hundreds, if not thousands of times, right? Probably more realistically, thousands of jobs if you're not actively you applying. But you know, I do understand that we are all in this time right now, which is June 25th, 2025, which we're going through a lot of turmoil with. As I spoke before in my other previous video, the economy, but now to add the war, right? Are we getting into a World War III situation here? So that just kind of like brings our positivity energy down, right? And who wants to apply when with all of these things are going around, right? There's all the issues that is happening with ICE and you know just the political stuff. But at the end of the day, um, you have to remember to stay true to yourself. So what I'm doing to help me, and what I've always done, is kind of strategize. Okay, so what do I do? Because I love watching TV. So one of the biggest things is in the morning I have to kind of like, all right, so let me focus on, if today I'm gonna work out, since I told you I was working out every other day. And then if I need to focus on, obviously every day is an applying day, right? Are you applying on LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, ZipRecruiter? I mean, Dice. The list goes on, right? It just never ends. And then you apply to the company site, right? Because you're looking for active companies, whether it's on LinkedIn or you're just hearing them on social media, right? TikTok, Facebook, um, and there's others, Instagram. I mean, you're watching, or X, right? Um, you're watching real life, companies post that they're having open enroll, and you want to go ahead and apply. So again, it just becomes very there's too much going on, too much noise in the background, right, so to speak. So what I do is I wake up early. I wake up at 5 in the morning, whether I work or not. It's just a habit, because it actually helps me. Because that way I don't have to struggle on waking up at 11 or 10 or 8 or whatever the case is. I wake up early because it takes me a while, a progress to. It actually takes me a good hour. So when I say 5, I don't literally get up out of bed. 5 means, okay, I have, an hour to get up. And that works for me, and I've been doing that for years already. But yeah, it was hard for me in the beginning. I'm a morning person, but I would never wake up that early. I mean, if I, definitely, I would wake up early for work and, all that stuff, right? Because I'm always working, right? I've always worked, but I always want to make sure that I wake up at 5, whether I work or not. Sometimes I end up doing that during the weekend, but you want to make sure that you're organizing yourself. I know right now with everything going on with the news, right? If we're gonna go into World War III, the stuff that's going on with Iran, and just everything that we're hearing right now, it's very hyperbolic news. And you do need to be aware. You do 100% should be aware of what's going on. In addition, you need to be aware of the hurricanes, if they're coming or not. You have to. I mean, you don't want to also be caught here. I mean, honestly, people do end up dying because they don't listen. They don't, listen to the warnings. So you just want to be listening, right, but not hyper focused on that stuff. You want to just make sure you're organizing yourself, applying actively. This is what I've done throughout my careers of working in Fortune 500 companies, where I've actively stayed applying. And trust me, it's not easy. It's not hard. It's very hard to stay proactive and on it, because trust me, I just want to have oh, okay, this is enough. I can't handle it. There is times where my mind wants to explode, and I am saying that, and you're probably laughing, but honestly, if you have applied to a million jobs, you would feel the same way. If you're interviewing, and you have multiple interviews, right, and you're going on site and you're doing all of that, so you will feel just drained, right? I mean, we're human. I am honest enough. Remember, I told you I was going to be honest, so I'm going to be transparent. Some people don't like to say these things, but I've learned to accept them. I really try to be more robotic about it, more black and white about things. But honestly, for your mental health, and what I've learned, at least when it comes to that, I've learned that being accepting of what you're going through is a good thing for you. But again, accepting it, but don't let it, okay, well, because of that I can't apply, or because of that I won't get a job, because you're gonna end up getting into that, in that gutter, and you don't want to get in that dark hole, right? Because again, it is hard to get out of that dark hole. You don't want to get in that pit. So again, it's hard to stay motivated, unfortunately. I wish we had another word for motivation. I feel like you just need to be lit. There you go. That's a good word. You need to just be lit. Listen to music in the background, which has helped me in the past. I haven't done it so much now. I actually only listen to the music while I'm working out, because I am focused, right? And obviously I'm not hearing anything else, because for some reason I can hear a pin drop a mile away. I just have gets, my senses are really high. But I really just want to make sure you guys understand that, coming from someone that is going through this and has gone through it in the past and what we're currently going through right now in this year 2025, we're it's getting bad. It is getting worse. But again, don't want you to go and start drinking alcohol, start to fight with your family, don't hurt your loved ones, right? Because when you're in stressful situations at work, or you're looking for a job, or if you're in a job and want to get out of the job, because that's also another thing, right? You're actively looking, so that's another stressful getting off from a full-time job. I mean, so I want you guys to be prepared, right? I want you to understand that in the morning when you wake up, try to wake up as early as possible, okay? Try to focus on applying, eat. In my case, I have to have breakfast for the most part, because then I would start to, get a little down. That's how I am. But I can go periods, long periods. I can even go days without eating, which is not a good thing, but just kind of like what I've had to endure, do, right? I'm not someone that, okay, I don't eat, right? I'm gonna die. No, I'm kind of like, just as long as I'm drinking water. Normally, sometimes I don't even feel hungry, but again, and when I say where I go days, I don't mean that I go, more than 2 days, like hungry now. That doesn't happen. What I'm saying to you is that normally when I'm focusing on something or doing something, sometimes you can just not eat, right? Pray. Prayer is big. I mean, I don't know where I would be, as I mentioned to do before, about my faith. I've gone through so much in my life that if it wasn't for God or my faith, I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in my saints. You don't have to believe what I believe in. We're not here for religious views. I'm not going against your views, religious-wise or politically, or political views. I respect everyone. I respect everyone's, diversity, equity, inclusion, everything. I'm not against anybody, because I want people to respect me, right? So I have to respect your feelings and your thoughts. And that's how it should be, right? But it's obviously not. Because this is me. This is, my life, my background. And so just want you guys to understand that, you will find something. It's gonna get harder before it gets better, but you will find something, okay? I recently had to take something because I needed to make money, and it wasn't good for my mental health, okay? I can get a job because I'm a hustler, okay? I'm lit, okay? I don't play when it comes to working, okay? And I can respect people, right, when I'm working with them. But again, this has to be protected above all. I can make my money, I can pay my bills, but if I'm not good up here, I can have a stroke one day and die. I've tolerated so much. I used to work in banking, and I tolerated a lot while I was working in banking. I had to work the weekends. I had to work, sometimes I would have to come earlier. Sometimes I would have to leave later because I was a manager, remember? And then I ended up being in recruiting, right? Later on, I transitioned to that, but recruiting was more, working in banking was dealing with the sales operations, the customer service, the accounting of the vault. If someone would come out of balance, I would have to go and check them out and see where they were at. Customer service issues and complaining, they need a refund or they want this. We are getting robbed. Literally, I have to open, bank accounts, or, we have to offer certain credit cards or home loans, or the list goes on. I was blessed enough to even go work at Washington Mutual for 1 year before they collapsed, right? The whole market house crisis collapsed. I was privileged to work there for 1 year, but it was very, very hard to work there too, because everything was about sales. But I want to tell y'all that I've exposed myself to all of that already. I dealt with all of that, right? So I've earned my badge to where I'm work myself too, right? And it's not easy either, right? Working at the jobs that I've had to work for, because you have a lot of responsibility, you wear many hats. The working in HR and working as a recruiters is not easy, and a lot of people will tell you that. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I will never be a recruiter." I hear that a lot, and I 100% understand them. It's not easy, and like I mentioned, it's more of a sales role, right? It's more because you're introducing yourself to the candidate for the company, and you have to do a good job about it, which I love to do that. I love to make a partnership and make sure that the candidate can stay there long term, right? And then there's other HR issues that go involved that we have to look at, right? We have to be stay up to par with the laws, making sure that we don't cross any lines, we don't say something we're not supposed. It's another video, but again, going back to, I'm kind of ranting here, but what I want y'all to know is you guys are gonna be okay. I know I myself am going crazy. When am I gonna get a job? And I just got one, right? I just had one, right? But because of this, I had to make a hard decision because of this, right? But yeah, I did get one recently, and I always try to be positive about things. Okay, just know that about me. But because I've always had to work since I was a teenager, remember, so my work ethic is way up here, so it's not, my performance is never in question, or how I treat others, right? How even if people treat me bad, right, I will talk to them. Hey, what is going on? But when you start to scream and yell, that's not healthy for no one. It's not healthy, That's not. It's not supposed. It's not. It shouldn't be this way. We're in 2025. We've already should have advanced all of that, but I'm just letting you know that hang in there. I wanted to talk about this because it's basically hitting home right now. Hang in there. You're gonna be okay. I know it might be months before you find something, but continue to make small steps. Apply, organize yourself, wake up early, work out, do things for your mental health, right? I don't drink. I quit years ago, but trust me, and going through all this, I'm like, okay, I need some alcohol right about now, but I don't want to go back to that, and because it's a choice, and with that comes other things, right? Leaning on alcohol, so drugs, whatever the case may be. Hang in there, guys. Even if you have to take something, where you can make some money, or even if you have to move somewhere back, right, to your parents' house or whatever the case is. I'm always been independent, and I liked, I've always been independent, and now I am independent, right? So it's hard for me to accept that. Just like, oh, if I have to ever go back to my, mom's house, or and it's just like my brother and my sister are there, their kids, and I love them, but I prefer my independence, right? And I've always been that way. But I guess, if you have to do what you gotta do, you gotta do it, right? For this, okay? And even if you're there, maybe it's just temporary. But don't go out on the streets. Don't go live in your car if you can avoid all that, please. I've seen a lot of videos about people living in their vehicles. If that is all you can do, yes, great. But try to take place in a home, even though you don't feel like it's your home. Obviously, it's not your home. I mean, even if their home, parents' home, you don't feel that way because it's not your home, right? You can come in, and do whatever you want to do. But right now we're going through very difficult times. Very difficult times. It's harder to get a job. It is harder, and it's due to all of the political stuff. That's why I brought up the politics. I am watching close to the politics, and what is going on in our world. I don't just watch one news station. I watch several before I can make my, before I start analyzing things. But again, don't stay bitter about everything. Be positive. I know it's hard. I know, trust me, I'm fighting it right now, and I'm gonna continue to fight that, right? In the mornings and night, when I go to bed, and just it's a daily thing, because I'm someone that wants to work, that has always worked, that has always found opportunities, right? And trust me, I don't want to make my X amount of money that I am used to making. I am fine with making lower. So don't think that I gotta make this or more. I know that I have to take what is available, and that is all. Okay, but sometimes what's available, it might not be healthy for you. Okay, think about it. Think about everything that I'm saying, because I've been through all of this, and I can see, the post on LinkedIn, the YouTube videos of all these talks about people just wanting to, quit. By all means, if you want to open your own business, open it. But right now, it is extremely difficult. But hey, I will never bring anyone down. If you can do it, do it. That's all I can tell you, because I will always be positive about that. But just keep pushing, push others. If you can, up, not down. Please, we don't need that in this life anymore. This whole pushing people down, that has to stop. We have to lift everybody up. Everyone, from the companies, from HR, recruiters. Let's start lifting people up, please. No more down, because I'm tired of that. I'm sick of it. All right, guys, take care. Please subscribe. I know I just started my channel recently. Just please subscribe, or send it to whoever might need to hear this. And I know I haven't been posting a video like I mentioned, because I've been, focusing on actively, looking. And had to kind of get right with here. Kind of felt, a little under the weather. So no, things happen, right? We're human. So hang in there, guys. Everything will be okay. Good. It will. Remember, in order for something to get better, we have to go through the worst part. Okay, we're about to, seems to be getting out of this worst part. Hang in there. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Okay, keep praying, because God is with you. When everyone else is against you, God is gonna be there for you, because He has us here for a reason. There's a purpose for everybody. Don't think that, He forgot about you, because I think about that sometimes too, but no, He didn't forget about you. Okay? This is the way life is. Are you going to leave it down? Or are you going to even celebrate when you're at your worst? Which pretty much has been my life motto. One day I'll explain to you on my personal life so I can understand everything. But I don't really like to talk about that. One day maybe, because I don't really like to talk about my personal life too much. But you know, I do want to be transparent with my audience. So, guys, please share this video. I know I've gone on a rant here, so it was good talking about this. So, hopefully, I can talk about something new tomorrow. All right, guys. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.